Gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
So yes, the key prop of this practice is something to lean against. A wall, a door, a window. And I want you to really start to feel the wall behind you. So really making sure that you can feel your spine connecting, the shoulder blades and the back of the skull as you just sit there. And your choice, however you wish to sit, maybe the legs are out in front of you, maybe in butterfly, or maybe cross-legged. And just take the hands to the knees and use our Jan Mudra, which is the thumb connected to the index finger. Other three fingers are just nicely connected and outstretched. And take a nice deep breath in. Deep breath out, close the eyes. And just start to feel the wall behind you. And we're really going to use the wall as our prop and as a support. And when we come to introduce the 8 limbs of yoga, we're going to start with the first limb of yoga, which is the yamas. So the yamas are 5 morals of restraint. And they include ahimsa, which is the non-harming. They include satya, honesty and truth to yourself in your thoughts, actions, and your words. Asteya, non-stealing, which is time, words, or objects. Brahmacharya, which is the wisest use of energy. And aparigraha, which is not taking more than you need or holding on to something. So if one of those particular restraints sits with you, maybe the non-harming, because we're using the wall of kindness behind us today. Maybe you feel that one of the others resonates with you more. Just draw into one of the yamas. So I'll repeat those for you. Non-harming, truth to yourself and honesty in your thoughts, actions, and your words. Non-stealing, a wise use of energy, and not taking more than you need or just holding on. So using one of those yamas for today. Allow the breath to rise from the earth, traveling up the spine all the way into the head and to the crown. And allow your exhale to soften, releasing, relaxing, letting go, resisting, holding on to anything that's going to pull you away from your practice today. Connecting to your breath and the rhythm. Read the Arrow Sutta. Buddhists say that when we suffer misfortune, 2 arrows fly. The first arrow is the actual event, and the second arrow is our reaction to it, or our suffering. We all have sharp arrows that pierce our heart. Injury, loss, betrayal, sickness, and they can all fly at us unannounced and with fury. It's these first arrows that are unavoidable, and they are called life. It's how we choose to react to the first arrow that can be the cause of further suffering. And maybe we create a story about how things should be. Perhaps we feel sorry for ourselves. Perhaps we lash out, or how it all should be. And in our minds, we welcome and dance with negative self-talk. Ahimsa is a gentle reminder for us to be gracious towards our day-to-day struggles. The kindest, most charitable way to care for ourselves is to bring self-awareness to the second arrow by embracing and acknowledging how we feel with humanity, kindness, humility, and compassion. Let's release the mudra, open the palms up nice and wide, ready to receive your practice, all of the benefits that you can bring for yourself, and gently lift the knees in towards one another. Give yourself a little hug, but keep most of the spine connected to the wall if you can, pulling the navel back towards the spine so that you feel the spine connect to the wall. Relax the shoulders, let the head drop, and see if you can feel the shoulder blades pulling backwards towards the wall as well. And slowly unroll. We're going to turn ourselves around. We're going to come into butterfly against the wall. So you might just shuffle the hips up and then lie down and bring the feet together at a nice comfortable place, and just let the knees drop out to the sides, and the feet are going to start to drop down towards the pelvis here. So maybe the toes still connect. You can take the arms out to the side here. And what tends to happen is the knees and the legs are quite heavy, so the heels may separate. So you want to find a place where they're not continually slipping, but they're going to stay there. And feel the connection of your spine on the mat underneath you. Maybe your buttocks are resting against the wall if you've shimmied up close enough, or maybe it's just the feet. Try to soften into the posture as much as you can here. More breaths in, reminding yourself the wall of kindness, that it's giving you that support. And then wherever the feet are, just lift the hands, lift the knees, bring the knees together, place the soles of the feet, press the feet against the wall. So again, you might feel that the thighs are compressing into the belly, but keep both feet flat against the wall if you can, knees to chest. Take this moment to lengthen down through the lower spine and the tailbone, relaxing into the pelvis. Then release the hands out to the side as you just reach the right leg up towards the sky. So nice little stretch there. And again, depending on how close you are, your buttocks might be resting against the wall, and you can start to draw the toes back towards the shin. So you're keeping the left thigh in towards the chest. The knee isn't going out to the side, and you're stretching through the right leg. Pushing the sole of the foot up towards the sky. You can feel the calf pushing against the wall and the wall pushing back. Point the foot and maybe see if you can stretch the toes towards the wall. And then relax and bring that right leg back. Thighs come into the chest and extend the left leg. So calf, heel, buttocks against the wall, drawing the toes back towards the shin. Nice deep exhale. Keep that right knee in towards the chest. And then pointing the foot, trying to draw the toes downwards towards the wall. And then release the leg. Bring it back into the center. Squeeze the knees together. Press the soles of the feet into the wall. You're going to start to roll from side to side. So maybe release the feet just a little bit so that you start to drop the knees over to the right. Hip might lift. Bring them back into center. Roll over to the left. So try to keep the lower back down if you can. But the left hip might lift to the right. Right hip might lift to the left. Keep the knees together. Right and left, one more time. And then extend both legs up to the sky. Drawing the toes back towards the shins, pressing both calves into the wall, relaxing spine, shoulder blades. Pointing both feet, drawing toes to the wall, stretching through the legs. And then release, roll over to one side and start to bring yourself up carefully to standing. So this time is a little bit of shoulder work. So you're going to get my buttock, I'm afraid, but you're going to have your arms shoulder width apart on the wall. And whether that's the elbows against the wall or just the shoulders, it's kind of like a heart pose. So the hands are like this. You can stand back a little bit away and you're going to start to maybe bring the elbows up and then bring the head into the wall. So sorry for my back body there. Just want to show you that you can get the palms down, the elbows and the forearms, and maybe the crown of the head touches the wall. Good. So start to notice here if you have really caved in through the chest, or you're just melting the heart downwards. And there's a slight arch into the lower back, and the sit bones are reaching back behind you. Bend into the knees, soften just a little bit, and then pull the navel back towards the spine. So you're starting to introduce a flat back. Tailbone tucks under, pelvis tilts forward to the wall, and then tilt backwards. So it's a little bit of a movement of cat and cow. Really, really subtle. arching, and then tucking and rounding. Pressing the chest towards the wall, releasing tightness into the shoulders. A few more times with this cat and cow, pulling the navel back towards the spine in that cat, and release away from the wall. This time we come sideways on, left leg. And the closer you are to the wall, the more challenging this is going to be. And you can place your hands against the wall either by the hip, trying to get the shoulder. So this is your wall here, trying to get the shoulder. So we're not twisting the right shoulder towards the wall, opening up the chest towards your opposite side. Again, if you have really tight shoulders, bring the arm down a little bit. Good. And just work with that. Particularly tight shoulders at the moment, so breathe into any of the tightness. Try to soften and relax the shoulders down. Keep pulling yourself closer to the wall if you can. Good. And then release. Circle the shoulder 1 or 2 times as you change sides. So right arm reaches back behind you. Again, trying to keep the chest, shoulders facing forward. You're not twisting towards the wall. And try and really get that armpit in there. And if it's particularly tight, bring the hand downwards. So palm is flat against the wall. Looking forward, breathing. And then gently release. And as you turn with your back to the wall, circle that shoulder. So cat and cow against the wall. So we're going to pull the navel in towards the spine. You're going to bend your knees go forward. So you're going to pull your navel in towards the spine so that your spine rounds against the wall. So this area is really pulling against the wall. Letting the shoulders, letting the arms rock forward, letting the chin drop towards the chest. Keep pulling the belly back. And just soften the knees a little bit more, and you might slide down. And then we're going to tilt the pelvis, and you're going to bring the shoulder blades back. So shoulder blades connect to the wall and the sit bones. So you're arching, so you would be here. So the wall would be connecting shoulder blades and buttocks. So cat and cow here. Try to keep the shoulder blades connected. Pull the navel back. Round the head. And then pull the shoulders back. Sit bones lift. Tailbone and spine arch. So just find that you're connected all the time. Hard to keep those shoulder blades connected. Nice and slowly. Last time. Release away from the wall. Let's come into a malasana squat. So taking the feet a little bit wider. Use the wall for your malasana squat. So maybe you start to squat down and you see how far you can go. I want you to bring the spine all the way against the wall. There we go. Whew. So you can lean back a little bit. The feet might be a little bit further forward. You can continue to drop down because you're not going to fall backwards. You've got the wall behind you. So hips might drop even further down. Releasing as much as you can here into the hips. Good. You come into that ragdoll pose. So see if you can push yourself forward, away from the wall, release the hands, and then lift the sit bones. Heel toe the feet into parallel. Bring yourself back to the wall so the buttocks come against. Lengthen the spine, give yourself some space, and then relax into the fold. So really your sit bones might be the only things that are connecting here. And you can lean back into the wall, into this fold. Softening through the breath. Be swaying from side to side, keeping both sit bones connected. I want you to just feel that freedom of not having to hold the posture. Good. Then we're going to walk the heels towards the back of your wall. So heels come back behind you, hip width apart. And you're going to walk the hands forward into your downward facing dog. Try to keep the heels and the feet connected to the mat. So just release a knee at a time, lifting a heel, and then pull the heel back down. So the heel is fully connected against the bottom part of your wall. Good. And once you're ready and you feel comfortable to release both heels together, nice deep exhale. Relax the toes, press the chest back towards the thighs. Spread the shoulder blades. Keep the shoulders away from the ears and let the crown of the head reach down towards the mat. From here, bring the right foot into the center of your mat. And again, release the heel. Lift the left leg, and this is where you might just lift the leg up into a three-legged dog. You might just tuck the toe onto the wall and try to work with the stability of the shoulders here. So right leg can just press against the wall with the sole of the foot down, and the left leg is lifted. You're going to push that right leg back. Big deep stretch. Few breaths, and then release the left foot. Bring the left into the center. Release the heel. Right up against the wall, and then lift the left. Lift the right. Get my legs right. And up it goes into three-legged dog. Good. So start to push hips back towards the wall. Pressing the thigh, pressing chest back to thigh. Nice. And then slowly release. And come down into wide leg child's pose from here. So knees go wide, toes touch the wall. You're going to pull yourself back towards the heels and release the hands forward. Take a moment to come off of the wrists, give them a little massage should you need to. As you're here, take a moment just to recap on your chosen yamas. And then rolling up through the spine, come into tabletop. We're going to lift the right leg in between the hands. So left foot this time, press it all the way up, back against the wall. So the toes are tucked. We're going to come up into a crescent lunge. So you can, of course, stay kneeling, sinking the hips forward, or you come up into your standing high lunge. So the back toes, back heel might be pushing against the back of your wall. Okay, we're going to come into a twist. So right arm releases behind you. Maybe it touches the wall. So you're twisting towards the right thigh. Right hand might reach back. Fingertips just touch. So twisting towards the right thigh. Right leg is in front. Good. Dropping into that lunge just a little bit more. And then bring yourself back. Release the hands down and change the legs. So toes tuck right up against the wall. Heel is pushing right up against your back wall there. Lifting up. Again, you've got the choice, knee down or high lunge. Sinking into the hips. And left arm this time sweeps back, right arm reaches forward. And again, maybe those fingertips just touch the wall. Good. Reach, reach, reach. Gaze might go back to the wall. Sink a little deeper. Bend the front knee. And then release. Let's take it back into your downward facing dog. So both heels go down. You might need to make your downward dog shorter to get those heels down. That's okay. And then start to walk yourself back. And you're going to be really close to the wall here in this forward fold because the heels are right up against the wall. See how much you can bring yourself up to standing with the wall against you. The toes are probably gripping. So you can start to roll up, a little bit of a challenge. You might shuffle the feet a few inches away. Heels, try to keep the heels down. That was actually harder than it looks. And then reach the arms up. So bring the heels in together. Find a Tadasana here, reaching the arms up. Be careful if you've got pictures or any fixtures onto there. I've got a shelf here with a singing bowl. Don't want that to fall. Try and get the shoulders back. Maybe the elbows bring back. And then let's release into triangle. So left leg goes to the back. Right leg in front. If you're on a slippy surface or you've got socks on, probably take those off unless you've got, like me, the benefit of 2 mats. We are going to try to connect the entire body against the wall in your triangle. So right leg is in front, lifting up the right arm. Feel the shoulder blades connect. Okay, we're going to push that left hip out, reaching over, trying to keep towards the wall. So your left shoulder connects, right shoulder connects, left back of the hand connects, right back of the hand. See if you've got the right buttock connecting. Probably your left buttock will have pulled away. Can you pull the left buttock back without forcing it? You don't have to. Okay, you might not go into your triangle as deep as you might do. Notice if you're gripping through the toes, relax the toes and spread them out. Nice. Takes a whole new meaning to triangle when you're against a wall, doesn't it? You've got to work with the posture and breathe. Fantastic. And then nice and slowly, bring yourself up, tracking the wall, and then turn the toes inwards and go to the other side. So your back heel of the right foot connected against the wall. Both hands reach out over the left leg and then come into triangle on the other side. So backs of the hands are connected. Both shoulder blades are connected. Left buttock is connected. You try and pull the right buttock back, which is opening up the rib cage. Try and relax the toes. Doing great. Breathe. Remember, it's a wall of kindness. And then press through the feet. Woo! Bring the toes in. Heel, toe into parallel. Come into a star posture. So heels, back body, everything against the wall. Arms reach out to the side. And then step the feet wide. So you feel the backs of the hands, backs of the shoulders, buttocks, calves, heels. And let's come into a tree balance from here. So we're going to turn towards the left. Going to stabilize through the right leg. And it looks like I've frozen for some reason. I've stayed still. So left leg comes into your tree pose. Left arm holds onto the wall and right arm raises. We're going to bend side. So you're going to try and reach that top arm. So basically it's this against the wall. So the left hand is against the wall. You're going to try and reach the right to meet it. And that foot can be at the ankle, the calf, or at the thigh. But if it's at the thigh, you're more than likely going to attach the knee, and then you pull the hip away and reach over with the top arm. So you're holding onto the wall, reaching into that crescent tree. Breathe in, bring yourself back into center. Just take a balance there for a moment in tree pose. Release yourself from the wall. Find the balance. And then release the foot, change to the other side. So right leg comes up, either to the thigh, the calf, or the ankle. Holding onto the wall with the right hand, lifting up the left, pushing the hip out and away from the wall. And that top arm sweeps over. See if you can touch the wall. Keep reaching, 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 side stretching. And then inhale, bring yourself back into center. And release the hands to the heart to find that balance in tree. And release the leg down. Take a moment. Let's come into a wide-legged forward fold. So heels right at the back of the wall, toes are turning in, calves are connected, buttocks are connected. See if you can take a wide-legged fold. So chest leads. I don't want you to fall. So if you feel that you cannot sustain that, the feet have to come away from the wall just a little bit. So even if it's like that much, your heels are away, okay? So your chest leads, buttocks stay connected. Oh, that's quite challenging, isn't it? And then you come into that wide-legged forward fold and you just let all of the weight go into the wall. So you don't have to hold the posture anywhere. Let all the weight just sink back to the wall, into the wide-legged fold. Deep breaths. Then come up into a half lift. If you have a block handy, the fingertips may go on the blocks or onto the mat in front of you. Buttocks are connected to the wall. Crown of the head reaches forward. Widen the heels just a little bit. Turn the toes in a little bit more. Lift up the abdomen. Now see if you can take a hand off. Don't fall flat on your face. Oh, you might need to wiggle those feet a little bit away from the wall to take the other hand off. And balance. Deep, deep, deep into the knees. Bend the knees there if you need. Toes might be gripping and release. Good. Bring yourself up and heel toe the feet back into parallel. So this time, starting to roll up through the spine. Bring yourself into standing once more. So heels, calves, buttocks, arms out to the side. Take Tadasana. Feel the shoulder blades connecting and the back of the head, backs of the hands, elbows, maybe the forearms. Let's return to our melting heart pose, which we started off with. Let's see if we've got any improvement here. So hands come out in front of you. Release the elbows, melt the heart down, and rest the head against the wall. See if the shoulders are open just a little bit more now. And as we're facing the wall here, walk the feet in as you come up. And then start to trace the wall down with your hands and start to come into an Uttanasana, forward fold. Keep walking towards the wall and try and get the back of your body, your spine, connected. So really use the wall there again. You don't have to hold the Uttanasana. Let all of your spine push against the wall. You might take the hands back behind you into the calves. Keep walking those toes. See how close you can get. And then slowly bend at the knee and release back down to the knees. Oh, well done. So let's come all the way to prone, facing the wall this time. Bring yourself down onto the mat, hands in front of the forehead and just sway out. So this is a little bit of a seal. So the hands go up onto the wall. You're in a prone posture. If you want to, the hands can come as high as they feel comfortable. And you come as close to the wall as you like. So you might wish to shuffle a little bit forward, get more of a deeper back bend there. So palms just holding onto the wall. Feels amazing. I don't know how it feels for you. Breathe out. Nice slow, deep breaths. And then release the hands down. Come back into that prone position. Head on the back of the hands and sway out through the hips. Your choice here to come into an inversion. I am not forcing any headstands at all, but if headstand is within your practice, you may like to try it. So what I advise is making that little frame, so interlacing the fingers so that the just this area of the head rests on the inside of those knuckles. And even if you don't come up with the legs into your full headstand, you can just try and get the back up against the wall and start to walk the feet in towards the head. So I'll just give you a little demo here. So hands come down, you bring the head down, you get as close as you can so that you can start to come up, and then my back is up against the wall and I might just stay there. High, I can still see you. So you're not putting too much weight into the head and you're not putting too much compression into the neck. So be really careful about that. And then maybe a leg lifts or both. So again, if headstand is in your practice, you can take the legs up. If not, legs can stay down. Keep pressing away through the hands, the forearms and the elbows, trying to lift the head slightly away from the mat so there's not too much weight going into the top of the head. Fantastic. And just use the wall. Don't need to test your balance by letting the legs come away. Coming down nice and slowly, you might wish to keep the buttocks against the wall and lower the legs into an L shape using the core. And then release to child's pose. Take the hands back behind you. Just rest from the inversion. And gently roll up through the spine from your child's pose and face away from the wall this time. Toes touch the back of your wall. Knees are hip width apart. We're coming into quad stretches and hip lifts. So we're going to start to lift up into kneeling, and we're going to bring our bodies back, seeing if we can get the head or the shoulders to the wall. And then bring yourself forward. Okay, so rock back, head or the shoulders. Shoulders are probably a little bit compressing. And then use the quads and the hip flexors and the psoas strength to bring yourself forward. Once more, bring yourself back, quad stretches. Just rest the back of the head there. Bring the hands back. Maybe you take hold of the heels with the head resting there. Be careful of the neck. You can tuck the toes if you need to and you can't reach the heels. Fantastic. And then use all of your core strength to press yourself back up. We're going to fold forward. You're going to bend your knees, bring the toes up towards the wall and widen the knees. So try and shuffle yourself back and then feet connect. Drop the head downwards towards the hands. Breathe and relax. So you can let the wall just hold the feet there. And you can come up into a sphinx if you like. You can stay low, of course. So you're dropping pubic bone, hip bones. Breathing, lifting the chest. And release the body down. Keep the legs where they are. And safely transitioning into frog pose. So from frog pose, our feet will be pushing against the wall. So you're going to start to come up, widen the feet out to the sides of you, one at a time. Put both feet against the wall and then push the hips back towards the wall. So there's a 90-degree bend into the ankle, the knee, and the hip here. And you can always rest the head down onto a block, a bolster, a cushion, or onto the hands. Keep pushing the hips back towards the wall, lifting up the abdomen, keeping the spine nice and strong. Great. Remember, be kind. It's the yamas. Practice of kindness and compassion. All with the wall of kindness behind us. Coming out of this pose, carefully rocking yourself forward, putting weight into the palms, and then bringing the feet together back where they were and pulling yourself back. Bring the knees into kneeling and just take a rest there for a moment. We're going to come down onto our backs. So spinning yourself around. Head is at the away from the wall. Coming into reclined pigeon. So again, try and shuffle the hips as close to the wall as you can. The left leg is bent and the right leg comes across. So you might just lift your hips up to put that right leg across, and then you can drop the hips back down. Breathe. So when the hips are lifted, nice and easy, because that left foot is pressing against the wall. And then when you drop the hips, that's where your target area starts to feel. So arms come out to the side. Breathe. Deep reclined pigeon in this place. The closer you are to the wall, the more challenge that you have there. And release right foot. Press the right sole of the foot against the wall. Lift the left, lift the hips up, and then lower the hips down. Woo! Keep a nice flexion into that left foot. If it's tighter on the opposite side, you might need to shuffle yourself away from the wall a little bit. I don't know if anybody's feeling that as much as me right now in that left outer hip. The left piriformis. Try to draw the tailbone down, lengthening the spine underneath you. Hips are not lifted. Breathing out the tightness. And slowly release. Take the knees together, feet wide. And then shuffle your way in as close as you can. So just shimmy on the shoulders, bring the buttocks all the way to the base. So legs up the wall once more. This time, happy baby. So we're going to pull the knees nice and wide. Soles of the feet rest onto the wall. You can use your arms as just a little bit of extra weight on the inner knees, or you might like to keep them out to the sides. Soles of the feet are flat on the wall, toes are relaxed, lengthening the spine underneath you. You extend the legs nice and wide. So again, shuffle in if you crept away from the wall and start to extend the legs as much as comfortable, keeping the feet and the legs all connected. Again, those hands can add just a little bit of weight. They're not pushing, but they're just extra weight on the inner thighs. So really use the wall to support the legs. Legs do not have to go too wide. Great. Relaxing into any tight stretches, areas here, target areas of inner groin, inner thighs. And then gently bend at the knee, bring the soles of the feet back, and soles go wide, knees just rest in towards the chest. It's okay, wherever they need to go. So this is your choice here for the last posture, which is legs up against the wall. If you have a bolster, you can use that and come into a supported shoulder stand, or you might just like to take the legs up the wall where you are there. If you've got that bolster, use the wall, lift the hips away, lift the hips high, pressing into the wall, and then support the spine with your bolster. Scoot up as much as you can so that buttocks and legs and heels, you can take the feet wide, and you might even just bring the arms into cactus, but make sure that you're nestled into your bolster, or if you're just flat on the floor, be comfortable where you are for the last posture. We're here for a few minutes, so just enjoy this one. Legs up against the wall. Try to relax into every possible area. Letting the weight of the legs bear down into the hips and the pelvis, whether you're on the bolster or flat on the floor. Feel that you are not holding anything up. The wall is supporting you. And then bringing the hands back by the side of you, palms face down. You're going to bring the soles of the feet to the wall as you bend the knees. Lift the hips. So if you can, try and get a 90-degree bend into the knees as you lift the hips up. Be careful of your neck here. Lengthen the neck. Send the knees up to the sky. Soles of the feet connected to the wall. So it's a wall bridge. Keep lifting hips. And then slowly roll down. And if you've got that bolster there, slide that away. And you can roll all the way down and roll to the side. Stay on your side for a moment. And coming into Shavasana, your head will be not against the wall, but you're going to swing your legs around nice and carefully so that you can gaze up the wall. So make sure that you're warm, make sure that you're comfortable, and using any of the props that you've got handy. So you can always use your bolster underneath your knees. But try to make sure that you're not touching anything. The head is just looking up towards the wall. It's not touching. Feet are relaxed, arms are out to the side, and just lift the shoulder blades up and away so that you can pull the middle back down and spread the shoulder blades out. Just what you did when you were standing. So this is a mirror image of when we were standing in that star pose against the wall. And now you can close the eyes, letting the image of your wall of kindness disappear. Beginning to slow down the heart rate and your breath. Breathing in and out of the nose. And just for one moment there, just recall your yama, one of the five, ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, and Garapaha. Begin to take a few deeper breaths. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. And just lifting the arms up above the head. Just feel the wall behind you. Gently draw the knees in towards the chest. Bring the hands to meet the shins. Roll out. And just roll over to one side, staying there for a moment. Keeping the eyes closed, pressing yourself up and returning to sit against the wall. Really pulling the navel back to the spine so that you can feel the entire spine, the entire back body, buttocks, waist, rib cage, shoulders, back of the head. Bring the hands into the heart center. Anjali Mudra, and sitting just nice and tall here. Just find a moment to give thanks to your practice, thanks to the wall for supporting you as your prop. Even if you found that it may have been a hindrance to your practice, it's these two arrows, one arrow is the event and the other arrow is how we react to it. And also your own intention, your own yama. And give thanks to yourself. And I thank you for indulging me with a wall yoga practice. Namaste. Thank you.